lovelies, welcome to another episode of Ask Theo Thursdays. I'm not crying, which is a great start. This week there are some amazing questions about what my favourite Lush product is, to being single on Valentine's Day, and how I deal with haters. So, let's get started. What was your first reaction when you got nominated for a Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Award? Well, at first I wondered if they got the wrong person, but then when I reread the email, I started wondering whether or not Taylor Swift was going to be there, and if so, how I was going to sit right next to her so that we could watch the award show together and become BFFs by the end of it. And I was also just amazed that I was nominated. Wow. I feel so lucky. If you want to vote for me, or I should say, if you want to vote for us, because you're also a part of this, then there is a link in the description below. Go and click on it, and then click on my face, and you can vote as many times as you like. Which means that we can pretty much win this, so yay! What is your favourite Lush product at the moment? I'm really loving their Valentines range, and particularly the Alice in Wonderland inspired Roses All the Way soap, which has rose oil and rose syrup in it, and when you smell it, it has that similar fragrance to the Rosy Cheeks face mask, so it has that really calm and soothing effect, and wonderful to use at the end of a really long day, or, you know, just before you're going on a date. I might even use it this Sunday, if I'm lucky, and I'm going on a date. Also, there are unicorn horn bubble bars. Look, mine's pretty much disintegrated, but it's just so pretty I want to eat it. It just gives off lovely bubbles, and it's all a novelty, and your bath goes a wonderful, bright colour. So it's lots of fun. Motivation to get into a routine when you're on your gap year. Well, I think you really need to start planning your days ahead, even if it's just the night before, and make sure you schedule a little adventure or a big adventure for every single day. You do not want to be sitting in university a year later, or even a 9-to-5 job, and wishing that you'd done more in your gap year. You're not necessarily going to get a whole year again just to do whatever you like, so make sure you seize it, even if you do small things, like doing yoga in the morning or going sightseeing. Just do, and don't lie in bed and waste your year away. How has your YouTube channel changed you for the better? Wow, that could be a really long list, but I'll just summarize it in a few little sentences for you. I think it's changed me to become a more confident, more hardworking and determined person. It's also given me a sense of purpose, and like I said earlier, it gives me more confidence because I have a purpose now, and it allows me to be creative. So I suppose, hopefully, I've grown in my creativity since I began making stuff, and it gets me out of bed in the mornings. I know that sounds really silly, but I really like to sleep in, and now that I have this big thing that I gotta do with my life, I wake up, so that's great. And it also just makes me happy. I feel like I'm a happier person now that I'm a YouTuber. Well, that's how it's changed my life for the better, but how has it changed your life for the better? Even if you're not a creator and you're just a viewer, how has YouTube affected you? I'd love to hear in the comments below. Wearing socks while sleeping, yay or nay? Now, this question has popped up quite a lot, so I feel like it's time that I tackled it. Wearing socks in winter is a wondrous luxury. When I wear socks in winter, they usually disappear. I've lost many a sock to my bed. I probably need to just be wearing socks that are longer, or I need to train my feet not to kick them off in the night because they're so not in the mood to be smothered after they've spent the whole day in my stinky shoes. Now, I feel like this is a good time to just stop talking about socks and move on to the next question. How do you deal with haters? Well, instead of being angry with haters, I usually feel really sorry for them because they're only acting out because they're lacking something in their lives, and they're sending out abuse because they're overcompensating for stuff that they're missing. So even though I am human and it does sometimes affect me, I always try and look at the non-hate that's sent my way, and it usually makes me feel a little bit better. You know how they say, haters are gonna hate, and that's true, and I think the main thing that you need to do is not react, because then you're just gonna fuel their power and just move on and focus on other things in your life. There are so many better things that you could be occupying your time with other than other people's unnecessary negativity. What do you do when you're alone on Valentine's? Listen to me, I have been alone on Valentine's for more Valentines than I've been with someone, so I'm an expert. If you're going to be alone this Valentine's Day, that's okay. It's just a day. Don't let it get the better of you, and here are some little tips that I've come up with. One is to throw a party with your friends. I have done that many a time, and it is just so much fun just talking silly things with your mates and forgetting that the day is the 14th of February. Spend time with people that you haven't seen in a while. That's totally going to get you out of your own head, and you're going to be catching up with other people, and then before you know it, it'll be the 15th. I also think it's a really good idea to, again, take the focus off yourself and brighten up somebody else's day. So if you have a really single, how can you be really single? Okay, if you have a single friend, buy her a bunch of flowers, or him a bunch of flowers, or some chocolates, and that'll take the focus off the fact that you are single, and giving something else to somebody else is really fulfilling and will make you feel special in your own way, and that person will also feel special. So everybody feels special, and what do you know? 14th of February isn't so bad after all. Now those are the things I think you should do, but there are also some things I really think you should try and avoid this Valentine's Day. One of those things is going to watch a rom-com. Now I know that rom-coms are meant to be funny and put you in a good mood, but they always have this like really deep love side to them, and they make you question what you're doing with your life and when you're gonna find that person that's gonna pull into you at the most timely moment. So just don't do that. Just actually don't watch any of those things the whole month. Take it from me. The other one is not to go to places like beautiful scenic parks or fancy restaurants. I remember when I was in university, I went on this run, and where I went running was always very scenic. And as a result, there were about 15 to 20 couples just sitting in their little coupley coupleness. And some of them were even surrounded by candles in a heart shape. It really put me in a bad mood, I must admit. So just avoid those places, and ignorance is bliss. And then, if you are going to get a little bit tipsy or drunk, just be careful, because you really don't want to be drowning your sorrows in a whole bottle of wine, because then you're going to have 2 terrible days as opposed to just 1. So drink responsibly. So those are my tips, but I'm sure you have some of your own, so please leave them in a comment below. We've all been there, we all have experiences to share, and things that made us feel a little bit better about it. I really hope you have a good Valentine's. Even if you forget that it is Valentine's, it's probably the best thing you could do if you're single. Just forget about it, just don't even think about it. It's such a silly thing. Anyway, and if you are in a relationship, then I hope you have a wonderful time, but I also hope that you don't just have a great time only on Valentine's, because, love isn't all about just that one day. I think that's pretty much it. I think that's Ask Theo Thursdays this week. Thank you so much for watching, and if you want to tweet your questions for an upcoming video, you know the hashtag, but I'll tell you it anyway. It's hashtag Ask Theo Thursdays. Until next time, bye! I'm all teary for some reason, because one of my favourite things to do is to make a good video, and I can't always.